So, Barber Baby LLC here with Salute the Barber with Lida Amin doing an interview. You know what I'm saying? It's our second one, so obviously you don't have, I don't know why you're nervous, but obviously, you know what I'm saying? You got your students in the background, you're an educator, you're an artist. So this is my second time coming by showing love. So what you been up to? What's new?
Everything's new. Everything's new. Right now, I'm in the process of, just getting my feet wet with teaching my new students. So
Okay.
that's what's new for me right now. I'm in the process of, learning with them.
Okay.
That's my biggest concern, and that's my biggest goal right now. While I'm teaching them, I'm learning as well.
Okay.
So
So when you say learning with them, what do you mean? Like what's that detail for you more so? Because obviously it's a learning process, both of y'all. Like if this your first year with them and then it's their first year with you, so probably, emotions and energy as well as a whole bunch of other things. What's those things for you?
effective filtering.
Effective filtering.
Yeah,
You
I've
talked
been,
about that. So
yes, we
explain
talked
about that.
Effective filtering. I'm learning how to engage with new people every day now. So with my students, I try to connect with them immediately so that their walls are down so that they can learn better.
Okay.
I try to keep it as family orientated as possible. Not like I'm mom and they're my kids or anything like that, but just the ability to allow for them to be themselves.
Yeah.
With them being themselves, it gives them the opportunity to soak in information that I'm providing to them, which is the most important thing because I'm trying to teach them how to be barbers. And if they are nervous and I'm nervous, then we're not connecting or communicating. So that's really what I'm trying to learn how to do. It's my first year being a teacher, so with me, it feels like I'm learning with them because being in the barber industry for so long, we get used to our norm and learning the actual professional and legal ways to do things now. It's like, oh yeah, I forgot. I need to make sure that I'm doing this or I need to make sure I'm doing that. So it definitely enhances my barber experience once I get back to the barber shop because it's like I'm on point with everything.
Okay. So it's like a level of transparency to a certain extent.
Transparency. I try to tell my students that there will be a time where we are co-workers and it's not a teacher and student scenario. You're going to come into the workforce so where that's my natural environment. So
Okay.
I want to get to learn that with them and I want them to see that aspect too.
All right. So as far as the level of transparency and then coming in here, what made you leave from, or not necessarily leave because obviously you're still at the shop, but what's making you take this transition right now into the educational part of it? Because obviously, that's the main thing I'm focusing on so I could get you getting money out here. You know what I mean?
The African American women in my life.
Okay.
Community.
Okay.
The women that I grew up with that taught me, that's all it was the whole entire time. From my mother to Sister Fatima to Mrs. Grace to Sister Yasmin, all of these people taught me a certain type of way to communicate with my community. And it also gave me the ability to want to be a person that taught. That was my niche. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I thought I wanted to be a social worker because of that reason. But when I started cutting hair and it was a lucrative business, I then understood that it was teaching. Teaching is what I wanted to do. I love barbering, but teaching is where I feel like I shine the most at just because I saw how much that the other people who taught me in my life, how much it helped me to be who I am today. So I want to be able to help my students be, great influencers as well.
All right. So when you obviously taking that step and getting into transitioning kind of like from one profession to another, them specifically, were they the reasons why you transitioned into education, or what was it that like what was it, like one simple thing, or was it just the accumulation of all of the stuff that they taught you, and then you being like, all right, yeah, I wanted to do, maybe customer service, and then at one point in time I was doing civil service, and then now it's like, okay, barbering and education mix, or what
I
made you?
woke up one morning and just literally I heard that there was a female barber in Syracuse, New York, and I did not know of that. So like I said, I've always worked in sales or customer service, and like I said, with them influencing me on how to be a better person and how to navigate those situations, I just always knew that influencing or teaching was going to be something that I was going to be good at.
Okay.
Community means so much to me, and that's what it was. It was a community of people helping to raise me and other people around me. You get what I'm saying? So with that, it was just like it sparked my interest. Like, I want this area to be a community, and I want my barbers to shine the same exact way that I'm shining, or even learn the same exact way. So if I can have my niche in teaching, then that's where
you're running with.
that's where I want them, because they are our future. Like, me sitting here and watching them learn something that I'm teaching them and actually seeing it click in their head is the most beautifulest thing I've ever seen. So if I could do that, I have about 80 to 89 students. If I could do that with 80 to 89 students, it's amazing.
Yeah, passing on the education.
Yeah.
So, was there, as far as when you did move in, because I'm still focusing on that, when you did move into this, what obviously we know the influence and stuff like that, but where was the opportunity? Did you like see it in a ad, or, you know what I mean? Like, how did you find out about this being open?
This
you know what I'm
right
saying?
here. So how I found out about being a teacher here was I was actually studying on how to be an instructor. I never wanted to have a barbershop. Like, everybody thinks when you're a barber, you want a barbershop. I never wanted that. I always wanted my own school.
Okay.
So I was in the midst of doing secular education past barbering. I was in school at Oswego College, and I took a course for teaching. So in addition to me being a barber instructor, I'm getting my license to be a teacher.
Okay.
And with that being said, it's like the secular knowledge. So with that, when I was doing
That's what those people who don't know what secular knowledge is.
so it's just like addition to.
Okay.
So addition to me being a barber instructor, I went to go get more education on to be a teacher. So it's together. It all works in together, but it's separate.
Okay.
So I kind of want to be like a actual barber instructor that's also a teacher.
Okay.
Legally. And I was in a class with my professor, and I'm telling her my hopes and dreams, and I'm doing my final exam. And when I was done with my final exam, she came to me and she said, there's a school that's searching for a barber instructor. And I was like, what?
Okay.
And she was like, I think you would be a good fit for that. And the ball just started rolling after that.
Okay. So when you first started getting in here, were some things that you had to do, like as far as whether it be like the budget, or like what are some of the obstacles you had to overcome? Obviously, and you're still overcoming them, but this is your first year. What's some of the speed bumps and things that are different from normal life at a barbershop?
Rules.
Okay.
District rules. And their rules are the same as it would be if you were in a barbershop. But it's learning the ropes. I come from an area where I'm free. I'm 10 years working in the barbershop. I'm there when my appointments are there, or, what I'm saying? I still took it as a career. So when shop opened, I'm there. Shop closed, I'm leaving. Here, yes, it's the same thing, but now it's like I have to be here at a certain time, 7 in the morning. Yeah. It's structured. There is no me just going outside and leaving, taking a break when I want to. Like, I'm needed. You know what I mean? I'm in a place where it's needed. They are wonderful here. They give me a budget, and it allows for me to give the students what they're looking for. and what I know that they need, because I'm still in transition with being outside in the workforce that they're trying to come into. Okay. So I kind of have, a upper hand on knowing what is needed for the barbershop and what I want them to learn. And also they give us a curriculum to follow. And basically my curriculum is to make sure that they are able to pass their master barber exam.
Okay. So that's the next transition of the questions. It'll be like, so in the process of obviously coming here, was, if anybody else is looking maybe to get into education too, those are the steps that you took? Like you had to take the exam?
You have to be a master barber. Okay. You have to have your license. You have to have had your license for a certain amount of years as well. Okay. They're basically, the CTE program is based off of career experience. They want to take the people that are in this workforce right now, and they want to transition them into the school to be able to teach the students exactly what is in place. So if you're a first-year barber, you can't come and be a student. I mean, you can't come and be a teacher, because you're not really influenced on what's really going on. You're still trying to figure out your ins and outs. So they kind of want experience. I've been barbering for 10 years now. So I'm assuming that's what made it a good fit for them.
got a little built-up resume.
Which is good, because in any type of industry, they're looking for people with experience. And the fact that I have experience in this particular trade, which is the number one trade, the number one growing trade right now in the United States, is, well, I think it's the world actually, is barbering. It's the fastest growing trade right now. So being that I have this amount of experience, you have to know something.
Yeah, no, definitely. So as far as transitioning from obviously the education and everything that you've been learning with your kids, learning together, what are some of the qualities or accolades that they're going to leave with when they graduate from your program? What are the necessarily tools that they'll have to go on, and then what else will they need to be a master barber? Will they graduate with their master barbers, or no? How does that go?
They are intended to graduate with their master barber license. They have to have a certain amount of work-based learning hours. They have to, for me, you have to have your Barbicide certificate, which a lot of my students have right now. Okay. They have to endure the qualities of being professional. They need to be able to know how to maneuver with clients. They have to have critical thinking skills, because I need for them to be able to think on their feet and understand that if something switches in the drop of a dime, I need for them to not be afraid, because you're working around things that are sharp. You're working around things that can infect people. So a lot of my teachings are real life experiences that I'm trying to give them. We deal with real life scenarios so that when they get to their exam, they're ready to go. I literally teach them the exam.
Okay. And so give us a scenario, one scenario you may use with them or anything like that.
We've talked about unruly clients or customers that walk in and how to stay professional. Okay. I teach them that they should be standing when a client walks into the barbershop. I teach them no cursing. I teach them.
You know why I'm laughing. It's crazy. A lot of niggas need to come to this class.
Yeah, like we're teaching professionalism. Yes. I'm teaching them to dress properly. I'm teaching them to not, just the basics. The basic.
The bare minimum basics.
The bare minimum basics. So let's go, people.
This is sad. Man.
And it's, and I count those as work-based learning hours, because that's real life.
They're going to be good, though, when they graduate, because you're teaching them this off rip. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, we do setups for the stations. I set the stations up, we tear them back down so that they know what's supposed to be on the station, not so that they're fidgeting around. If you go to our stations and you open up the drawers, you'll be able to notice that everything is there for them. I'm trying to explain to them that, the breakdown, the setup, my 10th grade class right now is learning how to drape the towels over the client's face in a professional manner. I'm not trying to, and I explain to them, things may change when you get into a particular barbershop, but just to have these types of bases, that's what you need, what I mean, to be able to bring in your clients. You're going to stand out.
Yeah, definitely. So is that another thing that you work with, like building clientele and stuff like that, or like marketing and stuff? Or
we're doing financials. We have a teacher here that will be teaching financial literacy. I then will come in and explain to them how that financial literacy will help them with barbering and how to maneuver that stuff. Being in the industry for so long, when we started out, nobody told us these things. Yeah. And I don't really know if it was just because they didn't know. We kind of all learned together, you know what I mean? So I'm giving them, what I felt that I didn't have and what would have helped me, to succeed more. 10 years being in the barbershop and you don't know how to manage the money that's coming into you is a significant loss for you. You don't even, if by the end of the day you don't know how much money you made or where it's going, you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose, and you're gonna lose track. And I need for people to get the mindset of barbering as a side hustle. It is not a side hustle. It is a career.
It's a full career.
And it's a very lucrative career if you do it the right way and if you manage your money and if you manage your time the appropriate way. Nobody can tell me, and I don't care who you are, you cannot tell me that you can't make 6 figures even in your first year of barbering. Yeah. It's all on you.
That's a fact.
You can be the worst barber in the universe. If you are there, you're going to make that money. And that's the problem. A lot of people don't understand that your professionalism and your behavior is a lot of the reasons why you're not making the money that you're looking for in barbering, or why it may not work, because consistency is the reason why you'll be a good barber.
Yeah, that's a fact. So talking on a consistency, let's go on to your career. And obviously you said 10 years in the game, where it started from to where you're at now. Where do you see, what do you think about the plight of, or the whole existence of your barbering career from where you were in the beginning to where you are now? How do you look at it? What do you think about it?
I am ecstatic.
So that's what I'm saying. I remember one of the customers or one of your kids, they were just asking you, how you feel about it. You said you love life. So what makes you love life so much right now? Because I could see it every day when you come home from work. That's why I always be like, when you get to the shop, hey, how was your day?
I'm exactly where I wanted to be. I told myself when I started cutting hair that I was only going to cut hair for 10 years. That was my goal. This is my 10th year.
Yeah.
So I'm doing exactly what I set out to do. I set myself a goal, and I achieved it. I remember being in a place where I was working. I'm still working 2 jobs, but I'm happy working 2 jobs now. But I was in a place where I was working 3 jobs before I really settled down and started solely working as a barber. I was not happy. I was tired, but I knew that I had to get to the money. You know what I mean? Because I had children that were looking at me. I remember the last job where I realized that it was like a pinnacle turn in my life. I was counting underwear at Victoria's Secrets. And I remember going home crying because I'm like, I cannot do
this. Can't be it.
This can't be it. You
Why have you forsaken me,
yes,
Lord?
Like, what is this? This can't be right. Yeah. And I think that was a pinnacle moment in my life where it was like, you got to figure out what you're doing. You're picking these jobs. I mean, you know, we work in sales, and I was never really a salesperson.
You're just getting a job
yeah,
for the money.
Just getting a job for the money. And I believe I sat there and I said, I have to figure out something. So that's when it was like I started to think. I was like, okay, well, let me find a job where I can move. You know what I mean? So I'll find a job here, but I want that job to be able to allow me to move in different places. So I started working at a furniture store where I became a business administrator, and I can write it. Like, I'm teaching my kids now how to do resumes, because these things are important. You know what I mean? The sources are important. Your wordplay is important. You could have been a janitor, but if you word it the right way, it'll make it look like you are the manager or the owner of this company. You know what I mean? Just by a resume. So I got in there and I was a business administrator, and I'm working because why? They said the world tells you to have a 9 to 5. It's the American way. Get you a 401k plan, sit down, ride the rest of your life out. And I was like, all right, that's what I'm about to do. So I did it, but I wasn't happy. And I didn't like the way I was being talked to. And then I realized that I was training somebody, and the person that I was training ended up being my manager. Why can't I be the manager? I'm training this person to be a manager. Why can't I? Or they're watching me on how to do something. Why can't, you know what I mean? So then my brain started maneuvering, and I'm like, this isn't for me. So then I went and got another job. And like I said, I like working with people where I can help them. So I got a job working with children with disabilities. Did that for a long time. I'm sitting here for 5 years. I literally sitting there like, this can't be it. And I found barbering. And I was stuck for a second because I'm like, I want to cut hair. But, you know, people are not letting you cut hair. You're a woman. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing? And my mentor at the time, you know, asked me a simple question. And it was like, you have people coming to the shop looking for you to cut their hair. And I was like, okay, you know, I'm at work. She was like, I know. You need to be here because the money's here. And simple math. 1 + 1 is equaling 2. That's $40 right there. That was not an hour that I took for me to make that money. That only took me 20 or 30 minutes. It's taking me, they're giving me only $12 an hour here. Something's not adding up, right?
Math ain't mathing.
Yeah, like, what's going on? I quit the jobs. I quit the jobs and I focused on barbering. And within the first solid week that I was there, I made $700. And I know $700 is not a lot, but at that time, $700 was a lot.
Check.
Yeah, it was more than what my check was coming out to be. Cash money in my hand. She asked me one day, she says, what else can you do? And I was like, I don't know. And she was like, who does your hair? At the time, I'm like, my wife. She goes, no. Who does your hair? And I'm looking at her and I'm like, what are you talking about? My wife. She asks me again, who does your hair? And before I could say again, like, my wife, she goes, you do your hair. And I was like, but I don't. And she said, yes, you do. Learn how to do dreads. Incorporate dreads with a haircut. At this time, nobody, I'm not going to say nobody, but it was
slim to none.
One and maybe another person.
Niggas wasn't even wearing dreads.
They weren't. They were not. I came in.
I know.
Yeah, like I came in right when dreads were about to shoot off. Like right when dreads became a fad and it became cool because we were wearing dreads way before anybody else was. And I came in right at the pinnacle time. I called my sister Naja and I said, teach me how to do dreads. She was the dread person for our family. She taught me how to do it real quick. I'm over here learning. In the process of me learning, I'm cutting the guys' hairs now. So now I'm doing dreads and I'm cutting hair, and my career took off.
That's what's up.
I have not looked back. That was literally my first year, I would say it was about my second year where I found something that I was able to do and be proud of and actually see the fruits of my labor right then and there. and it took off, and I never looked back.
That whole transition from one barbershop to another barbershop to now a teacher, where do you see going forward? Because I obviously we're here because of the art part too. Because with the creatives, that's what I do as well. It's just a part of meeting people that are taking oranges or lemons and making lemonade. You know what I'm saying? And making the best out of this situation. So another thing, obviously, that you have is your art and your photography and stuff like that. At what point in time did you transition into photography or even just that arty type of field? What made you get into that? Was it during your barbering career or?
It was during my barbering career. I think it was right before COVID.
Okay. See, a lot of people, and that's when I was just interviewing Sully. Sully started what you call during or right before COVID or during COVID, and the dude Manny, he started his miniature thing during COVID. So it's a lot of time when people have like that creativity spark. Where you know where did it necessarily come from, or what made you even transition into it? Obviously, you have a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah.
But what?
I had a lot of time on my hands.
Talk about that.
So 2 things. Me and my daughter love sunsets. So me and my youngest daughter, Jazeera, we love sunsets. We used to call ourselves like the sunset chasers.
Okay.
Because wherever the sunset was, we followed it to try to get a good picture.
Okay.
And our pictures were just coming out so amazing. And it was just literally my iPhone. And I was able to adjust them and do all of these things to make beautiful pictures. And I started posting them. And people were coming back like, who took that picture? Was that paint? Was that? And I'm like, no, it's my iPhone. And I was getting so many inquiries about it that literally I just put a frame on it and then took off. Like my photos are in people's homes as decorations, and I never what? And barbering is what made me start using my phone, because obviously at the time, you know, you're capturing your photos for promotion. So now I'm getting good with maneuvering. Now I can't do what AI is doing now, or, you know, editing or anything like that. But it was just literally me making sure that this haircut that I take is going to transfer over to a photo and it look beautiful, is what made me get into photography. Nick always used to say, if you have to take a picture and explain it, then the haircut wasn't good enough. And if I took a picture and the haircut didn't transfer over to where it looked the way that I thought it looked, I need to go back. And clean it up or don't post that picture. You know what I mean? Don't post that crap.
Let it stay in the phone.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You better learn something with this phone. So with that became me messing around with the phones, and I took that process and actually, you know, with me taking good haircuts and me doing good haircuts and then me taking even better photos, helped produce me as a barber, but also as a photographer, because now I'm asked to go to Fashion Week in New York to cut hair. So what do you think I'm going to do while I'm in there cutting hair? I'm going to cut hair and I'm going to take photos.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And that's where I got some of my, that iconic photo right there was done at New York Fashion Week for the LBGT community.
Okay.
And I did the haircut. They did the makeup and everything, but I took the photo. Okay. And that photo, amongst with some other photos that I took, actually was displayed in a gallery down in Watertown. Okay. And they accepted my photos for a gallery show. So it definitely, I tell people all the time, barbering will sprout off some wonderful roots that you would you would never think is going to take you this far. Yeah. Just solely off of you starting to cut hair and just opening up your mind for creativity.
That's what's up. Yeah. So that's like, that's the main part of the creatives. Like, you got to take your, go down there and, you know what I mean, when they have like, free vendor Fridays. Like
Mm-hmm.
I tell you about, you should go down there. I'll go down there too with you. You know what I mean? Just take maybe like some art and shit like that, and just sit down there and link with other people because it's a lot of like-minded individuals that do art down there. And
So right now, my biggest endeavor right now is to get all of my students on the same page. I have 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th graders that are all on different levels. Each class is about 20 plus students. So, like I said, I have anywhere between almost 80 and above students. I will love for more people to allow for their students to come to our CTE program. The
what is the
wackest,
CTA? Explain to them what the CTE is.
CTE program is a pathway for our students. They have a whole bunch of, it's a career field that, I mean, they have so many. They have electric, they have art, they have cosmetology, they have firefighting, they have, so it's career, technical, and education field.
Okay.
Basically. It's everywhere right now.
Okay.
And trades are what's making the world go round, period. A lot of these are things that you're not going to get a robot to do.
Yeah.
It's humanity in itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's growing. But I want people to understand that even with CTE, you still need education. And it's important. And I know it's the wackest line in the universe, but it's so true. Like, the children are the future. Like, it's so whack. Like, you're like, can we figure out another way to say this? But it's literally the truth. Like,
she smoked crack, but she was right. She was right. She smoked crack, but she was right. Can't lie.
She's right.
It's
You
the
know what I
truth.
mean? Like, when you literally watch these kids and you're like, you might be the next doctor.
Yeah.
You might be over me telling me to take these meds.
Yeah.
You might be over me doing my hair. You know what I mean? You might be over me changing I gotta be nice to you.
Yeah.
I gotta teach you the
Yeah,
right
you gotta
way.
educate, yeah.
Like,
you gotta instill, program, yeah. No, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what we need right now. Like, we really so for me, it's like, I want to teach y'all the right way. Like, not no side door, back way. Like, yeah, we know that that's going to happen, but no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even now with, with February being like Black History Month, like, I went back and like learned how many Black inventors there were pertaining to barbering. Why that's not in the book? Why, when this is the minority, right? We're the major. We're not the minority. Why are we not in here? You get what I'm saying? Like, we've done a lot.
Yeah.
So why are we not in this book? So it just gives me the ability to say, if you want to change it, then what you got to do? You got to change it. So even with myself, my daughters, Taz and Jasira, they're in college right now. In my head, I'm like, we about to walk the stage together. I still am learning. My goal, my end goal is to have my PhD in barbering. The end goal, when I stamp and Walida Amin is no longer here, I want that. That's what I want. Only because it changed my life. Like, they said, there was like this meme where it was like, in 2005, if you could have started all over again, even with the knowledge that you had, what would you have done? I'd have went and picked up some clippers.
Oh yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
I'd have ran to the clippers. 05? What was we doing in 05? 2, 3, 4? I was on 2 kids and broke.
3, 4.
Trying to figure life out. If I'd have just picked up a set of clippers. And that may not be for everybody.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was my niche.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm telling you, like, even though I have this trade that can't nobody take from me, I'm still gonna go and further my education and learn more more and learn more and still learn, and that is our problem. That's where we're failing at right now. We have no education, and we're not furthering our education, and we're not furthering the ability to learn. We get somewhere and we stop. I know it. That's it.
I'm good.
No, yeah, I'm here. I'm good. What?
Yeah.
Negative.
Yeah.
So that's what I want my legacy to be, that I'm an educator. I want my legacy to be that, even if it's real life, even if, however long I'm here on this earth and I'm teaching, I at least want somebody to say, I learned something from Miss Amin.
You're doing that, right?
Yeah.
So you're doing that. So,
We
God forbid, if he was to go right
Yeah.
now, Lord take me now, you know what I mean? You
Lord,
did
take
that.
me now, don't take
You
me
got
now.
my man right now, you know what I'm saying? All education.
Should I be?
Yeah. Oh, no. We was talking, I was telling her that you got people like yourself that she's educating so she doesn't have to worry about not, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, nah.
Nah.
But yeah, so that's, you know what I mean? So for all them educators out there that's looking for you, give them your name, give them your information. We about to get you up at as many of these motherfucking expos as possible, getting money.
Find me anywhere. I am everywhere. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, Lida _ the Barber _ you can hit my phone. I don't care. That number's been there for years. 315-748-2357. It's that number's plastered everywhere. Go into your local corner stores. You're gonna see me on you're gonna see me on the TV at your local corner store. I'm promoting everything. I'm for the community. I'm for Syracuse, New York. I love my town. I want us to grow. I love my community. I want us to grow. I love my students. I want us to grow. I'm here to help people learn. Whatever it is I know, I'm going to get you to learn it. If I don't know it, I can find somebody that does.
There we go. That's all it is. So we're signing off. Salute the Barber, Barber Baby LLC, Lida Amin, Lida the Barber,
LA.
Lida _ the Barber _ the, you know what I'm saying? Syracuse's own Lida the Barber.
I appreciate y'all.
You heard it first.
Love you.
I gotta go.